Oh, it's Eula and... Clarand? You're here in Mondstadt?
Yes. I received an invitation to exchange swordsmanship techniques. I'd heard of the single-handed sword form of Favonius blade work. But, after crossing swords with Miss Eula, it turns out the Knights of Favonius are quite accomplished with the greatsword as well.
You're quite an accomplished swordsman yourself. Although I suppose that's to be expected of the champion duelist. Even over a few short rounds, I feel like we've learned a lot from each other.
For sure. You don't have to worry about breaking stuff or accidentally hurting anyone nearby.
That's right. There also appear to be automatic harpasta launchers in the area.
Ah, that's one of your local traditions, isn't it? Shall we have ourselves a game, then?
Why not? You should know, though, I'm not easy to beat at this game. Ah, hold on. No muskets allowed.
Oh, why not? Doesn't it still count as hitting the harpastum?
A sword's range is limited, though, so it wouldn't be fair.
Ah, of course. Then you should use a gun as well. Voila, problem solved.
It sure would be convenient if we could build a choo-choo cart track straight from here to Mondstadt.
An express line right to the best fish blasting spot?
Oh, okay. Might not be the best idea. Huh? None of these flowers look local to Mondstadt. Barbara, over here! Coming! Oh, how did this happen? Barbara and I were just grabbing some food at Good Hunter. But then, how do I even put this? The sweet Madame and sticky honey roast we ordered came to life. Sorry, what? That's right. I managed to catch the sweet Madame earlier. Come on, let's wrangle this thing so we can head back and eat. Wait, what? Uh-oh. What is it? More pigeons and forest boars! The rest of our lunch is making a break for it! So that's where it was. Diona? What are you doing here? It's my first time seeing these little guys. They're from that land, right? Oh, they're so cute. Alice put a version of the cat's tail here and asked me to run it. It has the setup I'm used to and everything. Now, all I need to do is make some drinks. And you know what? This is the perfect chance to change all the ingredients to super weird stuff. I'll get people to lose interest for sure. Looks like your campaign is going strong, huh? Even out here. Of course. The only thing missing is the cats, actually. They seem to prefer the real cat's tail. But that's not a huge surprise. Cats are sensitive about where they live. Even if the place looks exactly the same, they'll know something's off. So, Alice said she would find different staff instead. And then these little saurians appeared. Aww. Bennett gave me a few pointers on how to get along with them. Turns out, there's not a huge difference between them and a cat or a dog. Hey! Then you should call this place the Saurian's Tail instead! Fatui tent? That shouldn't be here. Wait, but there are always those two Fatui around here chatting about stuff.
You've noticed them too? I've been watching them for a long time. Not that I've overheard anything useful. Guess it's just my luck.
Well, actually, they seem to get information a bit slower than the Knights of Favonius. So they usually end up discussing stuff that hasn't been secret in a long time.
Have you guys ever wondered why they don't just go home? Their mission's gotta be over at this point, right?
Maybe their names got skipped over on the mission roster, so they never got new orders. That's happened to me before.
I suppose, but your experiences tend to be quite unique. It's possible the Fatui stationed them here long-term to keep an eye on things. Or maybe they volunteered for this position because they don't want to go back.
Either way, we should have Nicole take this tent down. It's making Paimon think we're gonna have to fight someone.
I guess you're right. We don't want people getting their hopes up.
Oh, there you are. I've been looking everywhere for you.
Something wrong, Sucrose?
Oh, no. I was just looking for a piece of alchemy equipment we needed for the event. Master Albedo has always been careful with our costs. We maximize the use of every piece of lab equipment we have. So if something hasn't been used in a while, it's usually pretty old. Take this, for example. We've used it a few times before, but we found the effectiveness and ease of use somewhat lacking, so it was sidelined quite quickly. According to the mages, it was meant to be placed in the city, but it went missing after being tossed into the magic bubble. Luckily, I found it. I just don't know why it ended up here of all places.
Well, all that matters is that you found it in the end, right? We'll contact Nicole and get her to send it back to the right spot.
Great. Thank you so much.
A tent tortoise? That shouldn't be here at all.
Definitely not.
Wow! I've never seen such a large turtle in my life! There was a time, back when I was little, when almost every child in Mondstadt had a turtle as a pet. It was quite the trend.
Oh, yeah! Jean and Diluc mentioned that a long time ago.
I had one too, of course.
Quite the hassle to take care of. Small pets like that always are.
Wait, you had one too?
Is that so strange?
Oh, no, of course not.
I could bring it back to the church and raise it. It can stay behind the cathedral. I'll even build it a pool. Can't be too hard to raise, right? It looks like a tough cookie.
Not happening. The next thing you know, you'll have an invasive species on your hands. Just tell that mage to put it back where she found it.
Guess that's for the best.
I heard this thing was terribly ineffective when first invented. You could only catch 10 in a week. Why, the research staff barely wanted to touch it, let alone improve it.
But for some reason, it gained traction among adventurers once it entered the market.
True, it takes time. It beats having to do it yourself, I suppose.
But there are so many crystal flies around here. Surely it's not that difficult to just do it the old-fashioned way?
It's a bit far, though. Just imagine how tiresome it was back in the day, having to come out here over and over again, and no gadget to help. Does that count as trespassing on private property, I wonder?
I suppose it hardly matters anymore. Adventurers aren't quite so keen on crystal flies nowadays.
The times they are a-changin', eh?
So it would seem.
What are they mumbling about? Another tent? Huh. This one's kinda nostalgic too.
It's here because I refused to let that mage use my house as her playground. But we still needed an additional rest area for the guests, so we set up this tent instead.
Huh. Looks like we can use this device to keep in touch with the mages or get some hints. Kinda like we were able to do back then, remember?
Now that you mention it, the arrangement is almost identical.
Nights on vacation, summer, the sea, and a small little wave rider. It's all taking me back.
However, you're forgetting about the part where we were stranded on a deserted island and couldn't even make it across the water. That's what stuck with me the most.
Oh, I remember. At least I wasn't dead weight in that situation.
Fun times, huh? So, the mages prepared this stuff then. Guess we should take a picture and go check in with them.
Be my guest.
You know, the expedition in Nodcry is coming to an end, but knowing Grandmaster Varka, I imagine there will be another chance to set off in the near future. Not that I'm extending an invitation, I'm just mentioning the possibility, that's all. That's our honorary knight. No matter the mission, you always have a place among our ranks.
Come talk to me when you do have an official invitation, then. I have other things to do in the meantime. The intel I have on hand is pulling me in 100 different directions, but unfortunately, time off isn't one of them.
That's a shame. I take vacation whenever I can get it, and it's still never enough. I'd visit the Golden Apple Archipelago again in a heartbeat.
For once, I feel the same.
That's a shame.
For once.
Hello there, Honorary Knight and the Helper in White.
It's so nice to meet you, Honorary Knight and Lady Paimon. Glenfiddia, at your service.
Looks like you're in a good mood, Hertha. And nice to meet you by the looks of things.
Indeed. Thanks to some help from the Angel's Share and the Cat's Tail. Besides all the classics, we also mix cocktails to order, and are currently offering a limited-time delivery service.
Cocktails? Do you remember that time we served as bartenders at the Angel Share? And recently, you've also shown off your skills at the flagship in Nocrai. We sure have come a long way, huh?
The only thing is, our current drink selection is quite traditional, and it stopped feeling fresh long before the expedition began. But I need to get back to handling resident requests, and Glenfiddia doesn't have much experience mixing drinks. Plus, we've got a whole bunch of outstanding delivery orders on hand. Honorary Knight, if you're free, could you maybe help us out for a while, just until my other squad gets back from the Stormbearer Mountains?
You'll be amply compensated, of course, plus double pay for overtime, depending on your performance metrics.
Paimon's not sure what performance metrics are, but she's happy to help with deliveries, as the best guide into that. Paimon
Working with you two is always such a breeze.
I'll do my best to support Lady Paimon in any way I can. I'm very...
All right. Well, if you're ready to, then let's get to work.
Oh my, it looks like Hertha has gone back to her duties, and Glenfiddia is away somewhere too. Has our dear cutie taken complete charge of the drink stand? Wonderful. Now I can order without worrying about ending up with one of the logistics company's specials. The type of drink that keeps you awake all night, leaving you no choice but to pass the time working. That's right, I'm just a carefree librarian now. If only there weren't so many people with overdue books, and I didn't have to go door to door to get them back. I would have dropped by to chat with you sooner, and try out your delightful creations of Let me think. I don't really have a favorite drink. Just wrestle me up something rejuvenating that'll lift my spirits. And if it could help me nod off to sleep later, that would be even better.
Here's a snow-kissed dawn. Hope you like it.
It's delicious, cutie. Pleasantly tart, sweet, but not cloying, smooth on the palate,
with a refreshing aftertaste. If anything, though, I seem to be feeling a little more energetic than I'd like. Perhaps you've unwittingly unraveled Glenfiddia's secret and concocted an even more effective pick-me-up? Don't worry, there's no rush. Your eyes are aglow with curiosity, as though you have many more questions to ask. Let's chat for a while. Take your time. Inspiration will come soon enough. Since you're asking, it's been a bit of an unusual day. There's a chef, fresh out of training in Fontaine, who's recently taken up a position at the Goth Grand Hotel. She borrowed our most valuable book, the Mondstadt Millennial Compendium of Desserts. Apparently, she plans to use dessert-making techniques to improve the taste of various savory dishes. Something about reducing their greasiness. Indeed, and judging by the results, she rather overdid it with the caramel sauce. What should have been fragrant meat slices ended up tasting nauseatingly sweet. Caramel sauce is such a fantastic ingredient, you know? It never fails to please when added to drinks. Sometimes, I even add a spoonful to my afternoon tea. Improving food, I suppose, isn't always about being as creative as possible. Oh, this? A large contingent. Jean asked me to visit some of their well, they, based on what I gather in their letters, meant... Surely you're not my investigation. On my way back, I ran into Emmetall out on patrol. I accompanied her on a detour to Wolvendem to teach some raven... Lately? Is that because you think that I, too, might... Not bad at all. Back in my student... To paraphrase this... I'm sure you remember, a few years ago, when we were well... As expected, cutie.
Finished! A new creation, custom made for you. This should help you fall asleep quickly and guarantee you peaceful dreams. It's called a slumbering rose.
From the colors based purely. It's like I no longer. So good, in fact, that speaking of, any walk would be. Then, when we get back, you could. When the time comes,